Hello everyone and welcome to our pre-run stretch. I'd like you to come to the top of your mat. Let's begin on the right leg. Extend out the right foot slightly, balancing on the heel. Bend the left leg slightly. We're going to exhale and lower our arms over that leg, reaching towards the foot and then coming back up. We're going to do this 10 times on this side. So exhale, lower down, hand sweep over the leg, really going down as far as you can. Inhale, rise. As you exhale and lower down, try and get a little bit deeper each time. Let's repeat on the other side. So come onto the left heel, bend the right leg slightly, exhale, lower over that leg. Sweep down over the leg and inhale, rise. Exhale, lower down, stretch out the left hamstring, inhale, rise. Do this just a few more times, really find that mobility in the back of the leg. This is also really great for the calf and for ankle mobility as well. Now come back to the center of your mat, pick up the left leg, and we're just going to reach the left heel towards the left side of the glute. Just going to swing our knee backwards and forwards here. This will really just get into the quad as well as the left psoas. Keep your gaze ahead, core is engaged here, tuck the pelvis under. Do this just for a few more moments and then let's switch sides. So this time bring the right heel into the glute and just swing that leg backwards and forwards. Find that mobility in the quad. Just take a few more moments here, gaze is ahead again. Then release the right foot down to the mat, stand up nice and tall, and when you're ready we're going to come into our next posture, our forward fold. Hands come flat on the mat if that's possible, or you can place them down onto the shins. Just hold here for a moment. Then we're going to come up to our halfway lengthen pose on our fingertips, straightening out the spine, gazes ahead. Exhale, come back into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen, gazes ahead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen again. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen, gazes ahead, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen one more time. Exhale, fold. And just do this maybe a few more times if you like. You can just come into a static forward fold, allowing your forehead to reach towards the shins or the knees. Then we're going to step back with the right foot halfway along the mat, coming into our pyramid pose. You can stay on your fingertips or hands flat on the mat, or even take your hands onto your shins. You can come up onto the left heel just to activate that stretch in the calf, or just stay static. Really allow that nose to come down towards the knee here. Find that stretch in the back of the legs. Then let's switch sides. This time step back with the left foot, come up onto the right heel, square the hips so they come to the top of the mat. Again, you can stay with your hands flat on the mat, come up onto your fingertips, or even bring your hands onto your shins. Just make sure that you're finding that optimum stretch in the calves and the hamstrings, just the entire back of the leg. Folding from the hips, making sure your spine is nice and straight, nose to knee if that's within your practice. Hold for another deep inhale here, let it all go. Exhale, release all that tension from the body and relax into this pose. Make your way back into our forward fold and stand all the way up. Wonderful. Now we're going to step back with the right foot, bringing the right foot to the back of the mat this time. Bend through the left leg, coming into our crescent lunge. Keep your hands on the left knee, and we're just going to allow the chest to push away from the leg, opening through the right psoas, the right hip flexor. Core is engaged, pelvis is tucked under. Keep that chest open, gaze is ahead, maybe pulse the hips up and down just to find a little bit more mobility. Hold here for another deep breath, maybe bring your hands onto your back and just push your hips forward slightly. Let's switch sides, so bring the right foot forward and step back with the left leg to the back of the mat. Stay up on the ball of your feet, hands on your knees. Just push into that stretch, into the left psoas, into the right glute, right hamstring. You can bring your hands onto your lower back again if you'd like, just to find that extra little stretch in the hips. Spine's nice and tall, core is of course engaged as always, pelvis tucked under, gaze is ahead. Hold for another deep inhale here, and exhale, step forward. Now let's make our way into our straddle pose. So come to the middle of your mat, step your feet over hip distance apart and place your hands down onto the mat as much as you can. You can draw the crown of your head down towards the mat. Place your hands on your ankles if that's been your practice, bending through the arms. Try and make sure your tailbone is pointing towards the sky. If you'd like to find some extra mobility, you can just sway from side to side here or just stay static. Find that stretch in the hips, in the back of the legs and in the inner thighs. Now this time we're going to take our right hand and reach towards our left ankle or our left shin, twisting over so that we're facing towards that left side. The right hand can come behind the back or up towards the sky, stacking the shoulders. Hold here for a breath, and then let's switch sides, this time reaching the left hand towards the right ankle, right arm to the sky, open through the shoulders. Feel that deep stretch. Hold for a breath, and then return into our standing position. Then this time we're going to sink down into our skandasana side lunge. So bring your hips over towards that right leg. Feel the hips drop towards the mat, but keep them slightly hovering. Try if you can to bring the heel down onto the mat, or if that's not within your practice, just stay up on the ball of the foot with your hands on the mat. If you'd like to balance, bring your hands over heart center in a prayer position. Hold here for a breath. Then if you can, without placing your hands on the mat, let's switch over to the other side. So this time bending through the left leg, pushing your body weight into the left leg to open up the inner thigh. Flex the right foot if you can, keep it nice and straight. Hips are hovering up off the mat, heel is grounded. Again, let's hold here, hands over heart center or pressed onto the mat. Keep the spine as tall as possible and feel that opening in the hips. Hold for another moment longer, and then let's rise back up into our standing straddle. Keeping our legs exactly as they are, but we're going to twist the left foot that is facing towards the top of the mat, and then slowly reach the left hand down towards the ankle or down towards the mat, reaching the right arm overhead. Inhale, bend through the right arm. And then exhale, we're just going to shoot that right hand forward, really getting deep into the right side body here. Inhale, bend the arm. Exhale, shoot out. Really find that deep stretch in the arm, in the side body, in the rib cage. Do this a few times at your own pace, and then we're going to switch sides when we're ready. Now let's switch over to our triangle pose on the other side, this time right foot to the top of the mat, fold over that leg, right hand comes down to the ankle or down onto the mat, left arm overhead. Now again, exhale, bend through that arm, inhale, extend, open up through the left side of the rib cage, the left side body. Keep that core engaged, hips are square, legs are in line with one another. Again, just do this a few times at your own pace. Find what feels good for that shoulder, that upper back and that side body. Just do this a few more times, you're almost there. Feel that stretch, keep breathing. Then rise up to our standing posture when you're ready and step up to the top of our mat. This time let's walk our feet mat width apart, point the toes out away from one another slightly and sink the hips towards the mat into our yogic squat. Take your hands over heart center and use your arms and your elbows to push your knees away from one another. Just hold here for a moment. Really feel that opening in the inner thighs, in the hips. Keep the gaze ahead. Spine is nice and tall. Just hold here. Now place your hands to the mat and we're going to step back the right foot towards the back of the mat, coming into lizard pose, keeping the right knee off the mat. Inhale, left arm to the sky, roll the left foot onto the side and feel that opening in the left inner thigh and in the hip. If you'd like to go deeper into that hip, you can just push that left knee away using your left hand to do so, opening also through the chest and the shoulders here. Hold for a few breaths and then we're going to repeat on the other side. Left hand back down to the mat and step into our yogic squat. Let's repeat on the left side, so step the left foot back, right arm to the sky facing towards the knee. If you like, you can push that right knee away with the hand, opening through the inner thighs. Hold here, taking a few deep breaths, feeling that opening in the hips. Now take the right hand down and step back into our yogic squat. Arms out in front of you, this time taking this more actively. Let's just pulse the hips up and down before we end the practice. This will really find mobility and strength in the hips and in the hamstrings. Just twice more here. Now this time stand up all the way and I'd like to thank you for joining me. Enjoy your run. Namaste.